There once was a man named Cooper who used to fly through the skies. But now he lived in a quiet little farm where the wind swept softly through the fields and the sky was often filled with dust, like someone had gently shaken out a faded curtain. He lived there with his children, Tom, steady and kind, and Murph, bright and curious, always asking questions bigger than the sky. Murph had a secret. She said there was a ghost in her room. Sometimes books would fall from the shelves. Sometimes lines appeared in the dust on the floor, like someone was trying to send a message, but not with words, but with shapes and silence. Cooper didn't believe in ghosts. Not really. He thought it might just be gravity or wind or the old house cracking with age. But Murph believed, and in her heart, she felt this ghost wasn't scary. It was trying to tell her something. One day, the ghost left a clue. Patterns in the dust, numbers. Murph showed them to Cooper, and something stirred in him, an old pilot's instinct. These were coordinates, so they followed them. Together, they drove far beyond the fields, past the wind and weed, until they reached something hidden deep in the earth, a secret place, humming quietly with hope. It was a space center, NASA. There, people were still dreaming. They told Cooper the earth was slowly changing. Food was harder to grow, and the air was growing thin. But they weren't afraid. They were searching for a new home far beyond the stars through a tunnel in space near Saturn. They had already sent explorers to other planets. Some sent messages back, some did not. Now they were planning one final mission to go and see which world could become humanity's next home. And they needed a pilot. They asked Cooper. He thought of Murph, of Tom, of the warm little house, but he also thought of the sky and what might be waiting on the other side. That night, Murph sat quietly. She didn't want him to go, but Cooper promised. I'll come back, I promise. In the morning, he packed a small bag, looked once more at her bookshelf, where the ghost had first spoken, and stepped into a rocket that would carry him up into the stars. And as Earth faded into a quiet blue dot behind him, Cooper's heart remained tethered to home, where a girl still believed in a ghost and a promise still waited to be kept. Cooper flew into the sky. The rocket whispered into the clouds, then vanished into the black silk of space. He wasn't alone. Besides him were other scientists, Dr. Brand, Dr. Romilly, and Dr. Doyle. And there were two robots, Tars and Case, tall, clever machines with just enough humor to make the silence feel less empty. They were traveling aboard a ship called Endurance, small from the outside, but strong like a seashell holding precious things. Their first stop was Saturn. It floated like a jewel in the dark, its rings spinning slowly like the hands of a sleepy clock. Just beyond it shimmered something strange, a round swirl almost like a bubble in space. This was the wormhole, a tunnel to another galaxy. As they drifted closer, light bent and shimmered. They didn't know exactly what was on the other side, only that it was their way forward. Cooper looked once more at Earth, a soft dot behind them. Then they entered. The inside of the wormhole didn't roar or spin wildly. Instead, it folded time like a blanket, wrapping them in wonder. Brand reached out and felt something gently press back, as if the universe itself had taken her hand. Then they were through. In this new galaxy, there were three possible worlds. The first was closest, circling a giant black hole named Gargantua. This planet, called Miller's Planet, had something strange about it. Time moved slower there. Every hour on its surface would equal 7 years back on Earth. They landed in shallow water, where the sky was bright and the surface rippled gently. At first, everything seemed quiet. But then, far on the horizon, a wave rose, taller than a mountain, rolling silently toward them. A wave of time, a wave of gravity. They rushed to leave. Not everyone made it. The wave passed, and when they returned to their ship, their friend Romilly had aged 23 years. Time, it seemed, was a traveler too. Back on Earth, Murph was no longer a child. She was a young woman now, working in the same hidden space center where her father had once stood. But she still remembered the ghost. She still wore the watch he gave her. And even though he had gone far, far away, she still listened. So now, two explorers moved through time, one among stars, one beneath clouds, but the thread between them never broke. It stretched quietly through space like a whisper waiting to be heard. The explorers had little time left. Only two planets remained, and their fuel was running low. They chose the one sending the strongest signal, a snowy world from light where an astronaut named Dr. Mann was waiting. When they arrived, the planet looked like glass. Frozen hills stretched in every direction. The air was still, even the wind whispered quietly. They found Dr. Mann. He had been alone for many years, but he smiled when he saw them. He had hoped for this moment, for someone to come and bring him home. Mann said the planet might be the one. They explored together, walking across the ice under a soft, colorless sky. But as the hours passed, something changed. The planet wasn't quite right. Its surface was too harsh, its core too unstable. They realized this wasn't the home they'd hoped for. And Dr. Mann, he simply longed for company, for hope. His signal wasn't a lie, it was a wish. And that was okay. Not every place is meant to be the one. Sometimes explorers find lessons instead of destinations. Cooper looked up at the sky, quiet and silver, and knew what had to be done. To give Brand a chance to reach the final planet, he would take a leap into the unknown. He and the robot TARS would drop toward Gargantua, the black hole, to send back the data they needed. It was a tunnel of darkness, curved in time, not something to fear, but something to feel. A space where answers might sleep. Brand didn't want him to go, but Cooper simply smiled. "This is how we find the way," he said. And with that, he let go. his ship slipping gently into the curve of the black hole, like a leaf floating into the deepest part of a stream. And as he disappeared into that quiet, dark, time bent again, not forward, not backward, just inward, towards something waiting to be remembered. Cooper let go. The ship detached, drifting alone toward Gargantua, the great black hole turning slowly like a silent whirlpool in space. Tars had gone ahead, diving into the darkness. Now Cooper followed. There was no fear, just stillness. As he crossed the event horizon, the world began to change. Light stretched, time stretched, then everything stopped. He didn't crash, he didn't disappear. He woke up somewhere else, not in space, not in a ship, but in a place that felt like a memory, bright and strange, filled with long glowing walls. As he floated, he realized this wasn't a place made for walking, it was made of moments. He looked around and saw something familiar. Murph's room, the bookshelf, the window, the ticking of a watch. And there she was, a little girl again, standing exactly as she had that day so long ago. He wasn't just seeing it, he was there. This wasn't magic, it wasn't a dream, it was something deeper, a space outside of time created by beings beyond understanding, who had opened a door just wide enough so a father could keep a promise. Then he understood. He was the ghost. He had always been the ghost. Murph wasn't lying. He had pushed the books. He had dropped the watch. And he had sent the coordinates. And now, with Tas's help, he had one final message to send, the quantum data she needed to solve the equation, the last missing piece to save Earth. He couldn't speak to her, but he could use the ticking of her watch. Every second became a symbol, every beat a note in the quiet music of time. Far away, older now, with streaks of grey in her hair, Murph stared at the watch. She remembered. She listened. And then she understood. On Earth, time moved forward. Murph solved the equation. She carried the knowledge her father had sent through gravity. She gave the world a path to survival. Humanity built Cooper Station, a home among the stars orbiting quietly near Saturn, named after the girl who never gave up, the girl who once believed in a ghost. And Cooper, he woke there, soft white walls, a window filled with stars. He looked almost exactly the same as the day he left Earth. Time near the black hole had barely touched him. But Murph, his little girl, was now an old woman, surrounded by children and grandchildren. Her eyes sparkled with recognition. They didn't need many words. "You came back," she whispered. He sat beside her, their hands touching, his young, hers lined with years of waiting, working, and remembering. She told him to go. "Brand is out there," she said. "She's waiting." So Cooper took a ship once more, not to escape, not to save, but to be with someone who still believed in the dream. Far away, a golden planet with soft clouds and a warm horizon, Brand was building something new. planting the seeds of tomorrow. She looked up, and somewhere in the sky above her, a ship approached. The stars are quiet again. The ghost was real. The promise was kept. And across the universe, love gently folded time just to bring a father home. Good night.